I would like to welcome everyone this morning, council members, our NEA staff, and our partners at the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History. I also want to thank our hosts, the West Virginia State Museum, for inviting us to use this beautiful facility today.
The grants that you all grant down and to the individual states are so vitally important. They multiply the dollars throughout our communities, and they enable us to keep that weaving of our communities and all of the good things that the arts do for us. It's a preservation, and it's an enrichment, it's an education, and it's a good release for all of us here in the country.
And as you well know, we have had some pretty tough fiscal times, both at the state and federal level. And as you know, in the 2018 Omni, we bumped up the NEA funding several $million to $152.8 million.
The support that your state gives to the arts and the creativity that we see, I really felt a very common bond with everyone. I felt that we were coming together oftentimes in a nation that's very, very divided, and we found a commonality, and that is creativity. And it gave me great hope.
It is inspiring to see your town, your city, your rural areas, and to witness really the creativity of the people who live here and your openness to other perspectives.
I go back home to my home state of New Hampshire, which is comparable in size and in some ways comparable in landscape, but I'm going back with West Virginia envy because y'all do arts like nobody else's business, and you should be justly and are justly proud of your cultural heritage, the traditions that are beautiful, and the truly excellent. The excellence of your arts really is what came home to me.
We are very, very, very pleased to present to you all one of our favorite programs that is the National Endowment of the Arts, and that's Poetry Out Loud. What Poetry Out Loud has done for our state is amazing. Our coordinator is Jim Wolf, who also does all of our arts education. This year he had 48 high schools participate, which we have about 100, maybe 110 high schools, but he had over 4,800 students participate, and nobody puts on a final show like West Virginia.
The 1907 boom. 8 going silver mines, a dance floor built on springs. All memory resolves itself in grays, in panoramic green, you know the cattle eat, or 2 stacks high above the town, 2 dead kilns, the huge mill in collapse for 50 years that won't fall finally down. Well, I heard about Poetry Out Loud my sophomore year of high school. And I think I wanted to do it because I'm a theater performance major now, so the idea of being on stage is always romantic and fun, and I like it. And so I was like, oh, poetry, that's deep, I can do it. But then the farther I got into it, the more I realized that Poetry Out Loud comes at a time in young people's lives where they're starting to form their opinions and see the world in a different view, but they don't always have the right words for it. And I think that poetry so accurately describes where people are there in a very personal way, but in a way that transcends everything. That poem that I just did was written about a town in Montana, but I can see the coal towns of West Virginia in it whenever I do it.